Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So today's video is about how I started my furniture business. Now this is not a how-to video because, as you can imagine, there are so many factors that goes into starting a business. However, I do get asked this an awful lot, so I thought, why not do a video and share with you guys, and hopefully my journey will help you with your process if you're also looking to do the same. So going to the beginning, I studied architecture for a very long time. Now architecture wasn't easy by no means. There were days when I would literally just be sweating. And having finished that, I began looking for work with no luck whatsoever. London was incredibly congested, there was no work anywhere, and thousands of people were going for the same roles. So what was I going to do that was going to set me apart? I had no idea. I eventually found work, but it wasn't in London. I had to commute from London to Luton on a daily basis, 5 days a week, sometimes even on the weekends if we had large projects, and I was doing such mundane things that the dream of architecture did not sell to me. I was doing boring work and I just simply was not happy doing it. So I left. When I wanted to start my business, I was like thinking, well, what do I really want to do? What sort of life do I envisage for myself, and how can I possibly go about doing that? And I was actually in the middle of that thought process, with no answers really, when my business opportunity came through, and it was simply by mistake. And for me, it was sort of identifying an opportunity and grabbing it and then running with it. So one day I was just simply shopping with my sister, and we came across a sofa, and I thought, oh, I really want that piece. So I contacted the lady who was selling the piece at the time, and she had a 4-piece suite. I didn't want 4 pieces, we only had a small little flat in London. So, and basically she refused to sell them in parts, so I thought, oh, it's quite cheap anyway. All I would simply do is I'll buy it from her and I'll sell the other parts, which is what we did, and we immediately made profit within a couple of days. In fact, we immediately doubled our money, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So I thought, let me look for another piece like this and let's sell it again. I managed to sell the idea to my partner, and that's exactly what we did. 2 months down the line, we had a house full of second-hand furniture, and we were making a lot of money. So having made some money, now it's okay, this could be potentially very good business. Why don't we take this a little bit more seriously and find ways in which we can grow it, develop it, and to make it something that's sustainable? So what I did was started making notes. I started writing down everything that I felt I needed to do. The first thing that was on my list was create a logo. Of course, every company needs a logo. And the next thing was to register the company within the UK, and that's exactly what we did. We chose a name, and voila, we had a logo, we had a name. The next thing was to create a website for our company, somewhere that our customers can go, see our products. We can showcase new products that are coming in regularly, and they have a point of contact with us. Now, one thing I'll probably say to you guys at this stage is, when you're at the beginning of your business, don't invest too much in a website. Now, Shopify is a website that we're actually currently using, and they're amazing. You know, it's about £70 a month. Now, there are also other ones out there who are cheaper, so it's all about sort of identifying what your budget is. So definitely don't invest thousands of pounds into a website when you're first starting out. You simply do not need it. A pay-as-you-go or e-commerce website that's already sort of there for you to just sort of sign up to is perfectly fine. Take that from somebody who's made that mistake. Once a customer goes into your website, if they can't necessarily call you there and then, can they send you an email? So we created a company email. Once we had a company name, we'd registered the company within the UK, we opened a business account. Now, we understand that majority of people now, their way of paying for things was PayPal. So it's all about identifying how do your customers pay for their products. So for us it was PayPal, so what we did is we opened a PayPal account right away. Now, if you have a product that you think is incredibly unique and nobody else has done it, nobody else has designed it, this is something incredibly special, what I'll say to you is to contact the UK Patent Office, also known as the UK Intellectual Property Office. They can advise you in all types of idea protection, not just patents. Definitely give them a ring, tell them what you're trying to do, and they will definitely give you the right advice and how to go about doing it. Now, if you're not able to do that right away, what I'll definitely say to you is, especially if your ideas are still sort of in development stage, would be to keep records of your development, all your ideas, your sketches, you know, your professional drawings, all of that stuff, your logo designs, put it all into an envelope, pop over to the post office and basically mail it to yourself. But making sure that the post office stamps the envelope with the date in which it was posted, all your relevant documents inside. Once it arrives at your property, don't open it. Keep it nice and safe and somewhere, a way that nobody can sort of easily get access to it. So that if anything does come out later, there's any issues with, your pattern, your design, your ideas, and something you have a dispute later on, you have this document as part of your proof. It's better to be safe than sorry. Now, after we had grown a little bit and we'd done a little bit of business, it became very apparent that we needed a little bit more knowledge. Now, it's fine starting a business, anybody can start a business, but the question is, can you make your business a successful one? And I suppose that's a question we started asking ourselves about a year or two into our business. How are we going to really do this so that it's beautiful and things function, and we don't necessarily have to work like horses to make this thing run? And I suppose at that point we recognised that we needed help. We needed to take advice from people who knew what to do with businesses like our own, and people who have experience in places that we don't necessarily have experience. Now, I personally am very creative. I'm in terms of how I work. I'm not particularly organised all the time or know how to follow systems. I'm very much all up in the air, idea here, idea there, and I want to just sort of jump it all together. But at that point we needed somebody who can see things very, very clearly and is able to sort of jot it down in terms of necessary steps and processes so that we can achieve our objectives and to do it in a way that it's functional and it's sustainable. And that's the point where we started seeking help. Now, by help, I mean sort of mentors, people who can help you. There's areas that you feel that you're not quite, you're not that strong in. Definitely approach people. Don't be scared to ask for help. And even if it's people who are already doing what you want to do, pick up the phone, find their details, contact them, explain to them that you want to start a business, you have some ideas, and you just want to sort of gauge from them. They know how a little bit and how they think you should sort of go about achieving certain things or going about doing certain things and in which order. You will be surprised, guys, how helpful people will be. People were helping me in areas that I did not even imagine they could. People were so open and so willing to share information with me, and I was so grateful for it. So definitely don't be scared to pick up the phone, ask questions you don't have the answers to. People will help you. Trust me, they just will. A year into the company, we decided that we needed a little bit more expertise to help us really strengthen the areas in which we felt that we were weak. And I suppose that was really business development and knowing how to scale and grow your business. So we approached startup loans. Now, if you're living in the UK, I'm sure, I don't know if they have it in Ireland as well, but startup loans and startup company is definitely somebody that you need to be talking to. If you have an idea, or there's something you want to start and you don't have any money, you don't have any sort of knowledge in that area, or you sort of want a little bit of advice on how to go about starting or developing your idea, definitely contact Startup Loans. Startup Loans, they basically have loan partners all around various parts of the country. Now, depending on where you live, you can actually just contact them and say, okay, this is my postcode, this is my area, can you please give me advice on who to speak to about funding to help my startup? And they are amazing. They will find you your local loans partner who will basically go through your ideas with you. I went through the Prince's Trust. Now, the Prince's Trust is also a startup carrier. They're a partner. So if you have a business idea, what happens with the Prince's Trust is you approach them. Their system is a little bit different, and this is what I really, really liked about them, which I thought was really what we needed at that time, particularly myself, was not just somebody to just give you money, but somebody to really take you on under their wings and to provide you with a mentor that would say to you, okay, what areas are you weak? Now, when I was choosing my mentor, when they asked me what type of mentor I felt that I needed, I specifically asked for somebody that was absolute opposite to the way in which I ran my business. Now, the way in which I work, like I said, is very creative and very sort of ideas flowing all around the place, but it's not always focused. And I suppose what I really needed is somebody who wasn't creative at all, somebody who had business knowledge or how to run a company or corporation, but to run it in a way that was systematic and it was orderly. That is what I felt that I was lacking as a business person, and that's exactly what I asked for when I was, given the opportunity to have a mentor. And I had an amazing mentor. She, for me, was godsend, because she basically balanced me out. The areas in which I was weak, I'll go to her and she'll definitely just sort of keep me focused, give me sort of step-to-step guide of what she thinks I should do. Now obviously you're not under no obligation to listen to some external person telling you how to run your business, but what it does give you, especially if you ask for the right type of mentor, it gives you a bit of a guideline, and it definitely gives you an overall perspective of how a business should be run, because your perspective will not always be the only perspective that's needed. So it's always good to ask for the right people that you feel will strengthen you as an individual. I think the mistake a lot of people make, and certainly one that we made, was thinking that once you had those things in place, things look beautiful, that now you just sit and wait for the customers. No. That's probably the biggest thing, the biggest mistake you could probably make, was just sitting down and not staying proactive. Because what happens is that, you know, you think your product's so great, and every business person thinks their product is great, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be in business. You think your product is so wonderful that people will just miraculously find you. They'll go and Google, they'll see your stuff, you're like, oh, that is wonderful, I've been looking for that my entire life, and they'll hunt you down, they'll find you, and all they want to do is just throw their money at you. It does not happen. That does not happen whatsoever, because it's actually quite difficult to sell products online. It is not that easy. Now, we were very lucky from the onset because we had a profitable business model. We were selling used products, we were selling them from home, we had no major overheads whatsoever. For me, the trick is really keeping your overheads as low as possible when you're first starting out, so that you can maximize on the little funds that you do have. Now, I'm no business guru, you know, I'm practically a startup, and every day I'm learning, but I thought I'll share with you some of the things I've learned so far, and hopefully to sort of prevent you from making the same mistakes, and then just sort of going about your process and giving yourself as much of a fighting chance as you possibly can, because business, guys, is hard work. So yeah, only the brave will go and face it, and the persistent and the courageous will make it through the other end. And I'm still being consistent, and I'm still being courageous. Let's you know, help each other, because it's not easy, and everybody needs that support. Everybody needs a helping hand, and yeah, we can certainly learn from each other. So if you guys are already in business, for instance, and there's things that you're doing within your business that you think that everybody else can benefit from, definitely leave a comment at the bottom, share with me. If you have any questions, pop it at the bottom of the video, and I will definitely get back to you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. How I started my business. How I started my business. Hello guys and girls, how are you today?